Hope everyone's okay. Hope everyone's safe and well. Let's have a good start to the long weekend, to Friday. We're going to do some yoga for hips today. Yoga for hips and hippies alike. So obviously, as always, because I'm not there, just be really conscious of any tension, any pain. And don't do anything which is causing discomfort or pain. Step back, choose the easier options. There will be easier options. And let's start with the brain again. Let's start with your mind. So let's just take a moment to reflect on the state of your mind before we start. So you can close your eyes or you can keep them wide open. And how are you managing your thoughts? How are you managing your emotions? Are you learning to put these small meditations we start the yoga sessions with into your rest of your day? The training to observe your thoughts and become less reactive. To manage stress and fear. And to be more responsive and less reactive. So just rest here with your mind wide open. So all those thoughts, all that time we spend thinking, see if you can go beyond that. See if you can almost turn your gaze inwards and just have a break from that incessant thinking, fear, thoughts, the thoughts coming. Just see if you can be present, just being still. Find some clarity, non-judgment, non-distraction. The goal here is just to experience rather than think. So just be, see if you can train yourself to be present in each moment rather than thinking. Just resetting the mind before we start to move the body. It starts with the mind and then the body will follow. So just find that nice peace, clarity, awareness. Completely open, expansive mind first of all. And then we can turn that expansive openness into some focus, and that focus will be our breath, that will be our anchor. As we breathe in through our nose, we're going to do that diaphragmatic breath, we're going to fill up the belly. We're going to breathe out through our mouth today for 10 seconds, like as if you're fogging up a mirror or a window. 3 seconds in. Lengthen the body as you breathe in, create space. 10 seconds out through your mouth. Soften, take the tension away from your shoulders, your back, your hips as you. 3 seconds in. Start at the bottom, fill up the belly, 10 seconds out. 3 seconds in, 10 seconds out. Nice bit of early morning jaw flexibility. Breathe in for 3. Deep breath. 10 seconds out. 3 seconds in. 10 seconds out. One more. Breathe in. 10 seconds out, and then we're going to hold our breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, and hold your breath just for 20 seconds. As you hold your breath, you'll notice all the oxygen coming away from your extremities to your heart and brain. This will create a small chemical change in our body, our neurochemistry. And in 3, 2, 1, breathe all the way in. Hold your breath at the top, just for 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, push all that air out. Breathe all the way in. Put up the belly, look up, and we're going to push all the air out. Should come forward. And again, breathe all the way in. And push all that air out. One more time, all the way in. Extending the spine, breathing deep, and push that air out. You just hold your breath here. Come back up, suck your belly in. Just hold for 10. 9, 8, 7, imagine you're drawing your diaphragm up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, coming forwards to wherever you feel comfortable. Just feeling that change in your body's oxygen and carbon dioxide levels with that simple hold on exhale and inhale. And we're doing a bit of a diaphragmatic stretch as well as we push the air out, suck up and hold. Inhale, come all the way up to center. Circle your hands and just notice now, maybe in that meditation, you've been able to let go of your thoughts a bit, you're a bit more clear, a bit more present, and that breath has changed your chemistry as well, a bit higher. So to celebrate that, I just want you to pick your right foot up and put it in your mouth. Don't put it in your mouth. Just lengthen your spine. And sometimes when we sit here, we're rounding the spine. Often when we sit, we're rounding the shoulders and rounding the spine. So just ground the sit bones and the shoulders away from the ears. And just see if you can create a bit of length in the spine. And then just take a big breath in. Again, the breath is important. It creates space in your body. So breathe in deep and wide and expansively using your diaphragm. Then as you breathe out, we're just going to do a few circles with the hips, just wherever you are, circles. I mean, you might be out here somewhere, that's fine. Just wherever you can get to. If you are very mobile in your hips, try to resist the temptation of putting your toe in your mouth this early in the morning. And inhale, reach up through your spine, again, ground the sit bones, and exhale, circle the other way. That's big circles. For some of you now, your right leg might be on top of your right shoulder. Just a surprise at this time in the morning to have your leg on the shoulder. Probably, might not be. You might always have your leg over your shoulders at this hour. Inhale, lengthen the spine, grab that foot, and we're going to knock that metaphorical door. We did this a couple of weeks ago. Knock that metaphorical door behind you. It's not a metaphorical door. In my case, it is a door. In your case, it might not actually be there, but you're just creating some door knocking. I call this the reverse seated knee door knock, this pose. So you're just creating some nice space around that hip. And then breathe in, reach up right foot high. Some of you will be able to straighten your leg, but don't force it. And then as you exhale, that right knee is going to come either on top of your left leg, if you've got space. If that's horribly uncomfortable, place it on your calf or place it on the floor. If you've got space, you can come up here. Make sure your ankle's nice and flexed, so you're not loading that ankle. And then reach up through your fingertips. As you come forward, slowly making that noise out of your mouth as if you're a ball losing air. Feel that nice space around that hip. And then inhale, come back up to center. Place the right foot down, grab your left foot and put it in your mouth. Don't put it in your mouth. Inhale, lengthen the spine, ground your sit bones. Exhale, circle, 5, 4. And again, you don't have to force this at this stage, just creating a bit of space around your hip. And you might notice most people have a compensation. Most people will be a bit tighter on one side than the other. It's good to know, to be conscious of that, so we can create that space. As we breathe in, we're lengthening. As we breathe out, we're circling. And then grab the outside of that foot and let's knock on the door behind us. Bang. 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 Just creating a bit of space around your left hip this time. And then if you can straighten this. Ooh, tighten there. You can straighten this left leg, but you can keep it bent. You don't have to straighten it completely. And then you're going to place that left foot either on your right leg, on the calf, or on the floor, depending on what's comfortable, how much space you've got in your hip. A bit tight on the side still. Toe facing forward, flex the ankle and breathe in deep. And again, that's as you feel that nice release in that hip. Now this might be uncomfortable, so if it is, come higher. You don't have to force this, come wherever you're comfortable. You can bring the foot down if it's too much tension this time in the morning. And then reach up through your fingertips. This same left leg now is going to come behind you, like this. So the left leg was on top of your leg, now it's going to come behind you, if that feels okay. You're going to straighten, place your left hand on your right knee. And take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just pull this knee back, and now it's a different part of your hip we're releasing. Now it's the hip flexor, the psoas, which often gets tight, which often gets tension. For lots of sitting, lots of walking, so we're just easing into that space by pulling on the opposite knee. Your left hand is pulling on your right knee. If you feel comfortable there and you've got space, you can bring your right elbow to the floor, and just nice breath into the belly, a nice long breath out. You can notice what happens when you activate your left glute here. Muscles work in pairs. When you activate one, you release another. So if you activate your left glute here, you'll feel a nice space in the top of this quad and your hip flexor. And exhale, come to center, do some nice rhythmic break dancing to get to the other side. Your right leg comes behind you, you grab your right hand, grab your left knee with your right hand, and that might be enough. If you have got knee issues, just you can straighten this leg at any time. And when we come on to the pigeon poses today, if you have got knee issues, I want you to do the same on your back, because a pigeon pose can load the muscle, the joints with the weight of your body. So we'll do the pigeons on our back today. Take a breath in if you have got knee issues. As you breathe out, just creating a bit of space in that hip flexor again, activating that right glute. If you're uncomfortable, just ease back, don't force it to end range today. And one more breath here. And exhale, release. Good. So just creating some nice windscreen wipers. Your knees become windscreen wipers now. Create a nice bit of space around those hips already. Feeling comfortable as you move, bring the rhythm back to your breath. And then we're going to bring our right foot on top of our left knee. And again, bring your nose towards your toes. Toes to the nose. Toes to the nose. Just find a bit of space in there, do a bit of a bum wiggle. And take a breath in, open your shoulders, lengthen your spine, and as you breathe out, the right foot is going to come all the way to the floor. As you inhale, it's going to come back, and as you exhale, it's going to come to the floor again. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in, and breathe out. Breathe in and come to center. You can stay here, there's an option to push your hips up into that reverse tabletop, and let that right knee hang out, gravity take over. Nice table as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, drop your bottom to the floor, drop your right foot back to the floor, and then check that your right buttock is on the floor. Give it a little slap. If it's not on the floor, straighten your left leg like this. So that's fine. And then your left elbow comes to the outside of your right knee. You inhale, you lengthen the spine, and then you exhale, you look over your right shoulder into that nice twist. So as we inhale, ground your sit bones, lengthen the spine, open up the chest as you breathe out, and bring your gaze past the spot you were just looking at. Inhale, come back up to center. That right hand is behind your back, and the left hand is on top. And you might be able to find your bind, you might not. This is a cow face, because I have a face like a cow. This is called the cow face pose. I don't know why, do I look like a cow? No. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. And then as you breathe out, with a straight spine, just bring your head in front of that front knee. So again, it doesn't matter if you've got your hand bound here. You can grab your t-shirt, just create a little bit of space. And release. Windscreen wipers again. If you want a bit of a progression to the windscreen wipers, your hands can be pointing towards me like this. Good. Nice. Space in those hips. Come to center. Switch sides. So your left ankle comes to your right knee, do a couple of circles, just finding that space. Your bum can come close to your heel or further away if that's uncomfortable. And again, just bring your nose to the toes to the nose. And just find that space, and then breathe in and open up your heart, and breathe out. Just let that left foot come towards the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more, breathing in. And breathing out, hold that. And then just check in with your left buttock. If it's off of the floor, straighten your right leg before you bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee. If it's on the floor, you can keep that leg bent. Lengthen the spine as you breathe in, and then as you breathe out, rotate, looking over your left shoulder. Nice openness through the chest, this one, as well as release in the piriformis, the outside of this glute. Lengthen as you breathe in, focus on one spot behind you, and as you breathe out, your gaze goes past that spot, and you rotate even more. Exhale, come all the way back to center. Kick the right leg in front of you, and if you took the option on the other side, just push the hips up into that tabletop with that hip release. This knee here, your left knee, let gravity take over. Newton's law. Push your hips high, feel that space. If that's uncomfortable, you're still here with your bottom on the floor. Feel that nice release. And then exhale, bring the bum down. Back into your windscreen wipers again. Remember, options here are to have your hands down or have your hands high. Good. Nice space in the hips. We're going to hold here. So your right knee is on your left heel. And then keeping the left knee down, you're going to bring your right foot up as high as you can. And when you can't go any further, you're going to bring the left knee up and come to the other side. So you can do this with your hands down if that's uncomfortable. Now the left foot comes up, the right foot stays on the floor. Open your legs, close your mind. When this leg can't go any further, you then bring your right knee up. And you switch. So choose whether to do it on the floor or hands up, breathe in. This knee, the right knee comes as high as you can. When you can't come any higher, come up and switch. Nice healthy movement around the hips. Other side, left knee comes up. You can't go any further. Bring the right knee up and come back down. Let's do one more either side. Right leg, inhale. Exhale. Left knee comes as high as you can. And then you come up and you come down. Good. So this is your left knee. Keep it with, still in this windscreen wiper position. You're going to come into like a mini pigeon press up. So your torso is going to come in line. So your left knee is in line with the middle of your nipples, middle of your chest. And as you inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, you can do a little mini woodpecker. Woodpecker, woodpecker. Nose comes towards that knee. And just feel that nice release in your hips. And we're going to do 3 of those. We're going to inhale, open. Exhale, woodpecker. Woodpecker, 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 woodpecker. Ding, ding, ding. Breathe in. Open the spine a little bit in this cobra. And breathe out, woodpecker. Inhale, come up. Come all the way to the other side, same way. So right leg comes up first. And when you can't go any further, the left leg comes up. Really nice, functional, healthy activation and mobility around the hips. You come to your right leg now. So you see me okay there. We've got a little box shape here, by the way. So make sure there's a nice air box in between your knees. Your nipples come in line with the middle of your right leg, your chest. You open up the shoulders and spine, you ground the sit bone. You're active in this right leg. You're pushing the right leg into the floor, and then you woodpecker down. The nose comes towards the floor. Doesn't matter if it hits the floor or not. Depends on your nose length and the space in your hips. My hips aren't made, but I've just got a very flexible nose. So breathe in, come up. Active in this leg, and breathe out, come down. That is a lot of floor hip work, isn't it? We should probably start to move on now. So let's come back to center. Cross your legs. Reach up through your fingertips. Fingertips together. Create a nice length through your lats and spine. Imagine picking your wrists up and lifting them to the sky. And then exhale, we're just going to come forwards. And you're going to roll all the way onto your knees. Rolling onto the knees. Bring your palms facing the other way, so your fingertips are facing your knees. And already this is a nice release for those muscles in your forearms that you've been overusing. And then inhale, look up to the sky, arch and extend the lower back. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the spine, and you're also going to have an option here as you round the spine of coming to the balls of your feet. Just a nice bit of ankle mobility. So as you inhale, we're going to come up. And this time, as we come into this position, we're going to activate the hamstrings by bringing the heels towards the bottom. So now these muscles in the back of your leg are active. Really important that we activate as well as lengthen. And then as you breathe out, round, and you've got the option again, that ankle flexibility as your knees come slightly off the floor, it comes at the top of your feet. So it's a deep stretch for your forearms and back. Inhale, flow up. Heels to bottom. Exhale, flow back. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then drop your knees to the floor. Bring your knees as wide as your mat and stick your bottom out and keep coming back until your bottom comes towards your heels and reach your hands in front of you. Create a nice length through your body here, through your lats by coming to your fingertips. Again, bring your woodpecker nose to the floor and imagine I'm sitting on your lower back and pulling your arms forwards. So I'm creating as much length and openness as I can through your body. And as we breathe in, we're going to flow through nice and fluidly, nosy, chinny, chesty, just a small cobra. And just move your shoulders in this cobra, get a bit of thoracic mobility, looking over your right shoulder, looking over your left shoulder, bringing the shoulder forward to try and create that horizontal line through your spine. And then curl your toes, look up to the sky, and then peel up to your first warrior. Can't speak. Your first, what's this called? Your first downward dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana, your first downward dog. So, how's your downward dog? Are you rounding at all in the spine? Can you lengthen, open, ground, pushing through both hands equally, bringing your heart to your quads, pulling your hips to the sky, bringing your triceps, your back of your arms to your ears, and then just bring that rhythm to your breath. Keeping your feet back in a downward dog position, the left foot is going to come to the middle of your mat at the back, and your right leg is going to come high. So we're going to immediately bend this right knee, and the right foot is going to come over towards your left shoulder, just to create a bit of openness through your spine and body. Look under your armpit to the sky, and then exhale. That right foot is very slowly, with control, going to come outside your right hand. Come to the outside of the right foot's at 45 degrees, and come into the stirring the porridge pose, which is this one, moving your hips to the left and moving your hips to the right. There is no spoon. Stirring the porridge with no spoon. Keep straightening through that back leg, feeling that space in the hips. And then breathing, kick that right leg back up to the sky and immediately stack the hip again, feeling that space through that side body. And as you exhale, that right foot is going to come all the way in between the hands. Straighten through your left leg. Bring your left palm down and bring your right palm to the sky into a nice twist. Breathe in and straighten through that back leg. Breathe out, right hand comes to the floor, step forwards into forward fold. Hang your head nice and heavy in your Uttanasana, forward fold. And curl up very slowly to standing. Been a long time since we stood up, isn't it? Approximately half an hour, who'd have thought? So you're in a Tadasana now. You're aware of your body's position in space. Are you? Ground your feet. Now, let's take away the sense of sight for a second. About the sense of sight, see if you can tune into your other senses. Can you be aware of your position of your shoulders, your spine, your core, activation in your buttocks and hamstrings without a sense of sight? Can you feel that levity, that stillness, that presence? And then as you breathe in, reach your hands nice and high to the sky. As you breathe out, we're going to sit into Utkatasana chair pose. Take that breath in chair pose. And then breathe out and come back into your Uttanasana forward fold. As we inhale, bring your hands to your shins, straighten your spine, bring your weight into your heels to your hamstrings active. Get the roundness out of your spine. Exhale, fold forwards and step back to a plank. Make sure your hands are in line with your shoulders, and just wake up your shoulders here by just a little bit of protraction. Push the ground away, push your scapula forward, and then retraction. Let your shoulders come back, but keep your arms straight. Protraction and retraction. If that's uncomfortable, you can drop your knees and do the same movement of your spine. Healthy scapular movement. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, you can choose your option here. Knees, chin, chest, or yoga press up with your elbows in. Floating up to upward dog this time. Again, you can come back to cobra if your lower back is in tension. Reset your shoulders, virtual adjustment. I'm pulling your shoulders back, opening your heart to the sky. Curl your toes, downward facing dog. Feel that nice length in your body. And the right foot now comes in the middle of your mat at the back. The right foot stays at the back in the middle of your mat. And the left leg comes to the sky. Just to give your hips a bit more space. You bend the left knee. And the left foot comes over towards the right shoulder. Feeling that openness through your body. And then as you exhale, slow is pro. As that left foot comes outside the left hand. This left foot comes open now, 45 degrees. Comes to the outside of the left foot. And come into the stirring the porridge asana. When you stir the porridge to the left, And you stir the porridge to the right. Again, just creating some nice space around the musculature surrounding that left hip this time. And then bring your hands to centre. Just keep straightening through this right leg. If that's uncomfortable, you can drop the knee, but keep straightening if you can. Right hand comes to the floor, left hand comes to the sky. And that nice twist. Keep straightening through that back leg. Breathe in nice and deep. And breathe out. Bring your hands back to centre. Step forwards into Uttanasana, forward fold. And curl up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Move your shoulders back. Just moonwalk to the back of your mat. Bring your shoulders away from your ears. Inhale, reach to the sky. Open as much as you can. And then exhale, forward fold here, end of your mat. Bring your nose towards your knees. Flexion in the spine, lengthen the hamstrings. Breathe in, hands to shins, straight back. You can stay here, or you can bring your thumbs up and bring your thumbs to your ears to lengthen that spine, lengthen the hamstrings even more, but not round, only if you're nice and long and straight and strong. And then exhale, forward fold. Walk your hands forwards until they're in a plank. Breathe in plank. Can you tuck the belly and activate those core muscles, activate the glutes? Then choose your option. Knees, chin, chest, or your chaturanga. Elbows in, yoga press up, duck dive. Shoulders back as you breathe in, look to the sky. Curl your toes. Downward facing dog. Triceps to the ears. Again, at the back of your mat, the left foot is going to come to the centre of the back of your mat. The right leg's going to come to the sky. Open up. Again, bringing your right foot towards your left shoulder, feeling that nice openness through your hips. And this time as you exhale, that right elbow is going to come, that right knee is going to come all the way through to your left elbow. Just waking up that core, just hold that. Nice and slow is pro here as you breathe in, almost doing a figure of eight. So you're opening up that hip as much as you can that way, in abduction, and then you're coming all the way up and across. One more figure of eight, come all the way out. Slow is pro here, come all the way across. If this is too challenging, just drop that back knee, come past that left elbow, come all the way out this time, all the way out past the right elbow, and then all the way up. Nice mobility around the hip. Exhale this time, the right foot is going to come all the way through in between the hands. You're going to walk the right foot to the left hand, and we're going to slowly come into this standing pigeon pose. So again, so if anyone's got knee issues, don't do this, because that's the load of your body. This is the same position without the load of your body. So come to this position if you haven't got a knee situation. You haven't got a knee situation. Your hips are square. Hips are facing forward. Your shoulders are up, and you're bringing the spine into cobra. So the pigeon is quite an intense pose, but you can play with it. So if you haven't got that much space, don't force it. Bring your heel back to your groin. If you've got more space, your foot can come further away. And we're going to do some woodpeckers here again. So straighten through the left leg, inhale. Exhale, woodpecker. 1, 2, 3. Breathe in. And breathe out, woodpecker. And breathe in. And breathe out on woodpecker. One more, inhale, open. Exhale, woodpecker. Inhale, come up. Kick the right leg up, give it a little shake. And bring that right foot all the way in between your hands. Step forwards into forward fold, Uttanasana. And curl up to standing, one vertebra at a time. Move your shoulders back away from your ears. Moonwalk. Superfluous moonwalk to the back of your mat. Unnecessary moonwalk to the back of your mat. Reach up through your fingertips, lengthen your spine. Can you come to your toes and touch the ceiling? Depends on your ceiling height, I suppose, and your height. But just imagine you're touching the ceiling. And then close your eyes. And again, without the sense of sight, balance, proprioception becomes very challenging. So see if you can tune into that body's position in space without sight. And then roll forwards, chin to the chest, rolling down one vertebra at a time. Walking hands forwards to plank and breathe in. Choose your option, knees, chin, chest, or chaturanga, elbows in yoga, press up. Flowing up to upward dog or cobra if your lower back's sore. Curling up to downward facing dog. Your right foot comes in the middle of your mat, the left leg comes to the sky. Open up first of all, as wide as you can, bringing the left foot towards the right shoulder. Slow as pro here, slow figure of 8, so come out as far as you can, then come through. The left knee comes outside the right elbow. If this is too much, remember you can drop the back knee, and then you're going to come all the way across past the left elbow, and then all the way up. Figure of 8. So just make a figure of 8 shape 2 more times. Come out first, and then down. So it's almost like a controlled articular rotation of the hip. You're coming across, then out as far as you can, and then all the way up. Out. One more time. Reach out, and then reach in. Slow, using the core, protracting the shoulders, come across, and then past. Really working that core as well as that space in the hip. Open up, and then that left foot comes in between the hands. So remember, as we come into the pigeon, the left foot comes to the right hand, we come down. Do this on your back if you've got a knee issue on this side, like this. If you haven't, stay here, your left foot comes closer to your groin if you've tension, and further. By the way, you know that if your left buttock is coming to the floor, your foot's too far away. You don't want to sit here, you want to be up. So if your left buttock's hitting the floor, bring your heel a bit closer to your groin. Inhale, open up, and lengthen. And then exhale, woodpecker. Got a good ukulele song about this woodpecker actually, but it's not very, very appropriate at this stage of probably an 18. And exhale. Can you breathe in deeper? And can you open your spine anymore? And then can you flow forwards as you woodpecker? Nice deep breath in, a nice long woodpecker out. And inhale all the way up. Kick that left leg to the sky, give it a shake, stack the hip again, and this time the left foot comes all the way in between the hands. Let's ground the right foot, so the right foot is full block facing me, and we're going to windmill to a warrior 2. It's a different family for the hips now. The hips are now open. And can you open up this left knee? Can you ground through the right leg? And can you keep your shoulders in line with your hips? So imagine, again, vertical adjustment. My foot's here, and I'm pulling your torso back, and then you sink deeper into that warrior 2. Look at that front hand, your left hand. Open up the palm and come into a revolve warrior, reaching for that length through the body. And then as you exhale, you're going to circle the right hand all the way to the floor. Next, do your left foot. You're going to come up to your toes on your right foot and reach your left hand to the sky in that twist. And we're just going to do 3 flowing movements. So floating back as we breathe in to that warrior 2. Breathe out and sink deeper into that warrior 2. Inhale, left palm up, revolve warrior. Exhale, flowing, floating to the floor, come up to the back toe. Left hand comes to the sky. Inhale, floating back. Warrior 2. Deep into that warrior 2. Open up the front palm. Revolve warrior, feel that nice length through that body. Exhale, circle. Imagine you're moving through water as you circle, nice and slow and controlled, and reach up through that left hand. Exhale, come back to center. So stay nice and low here. We're going to move into the center of our mat. And stay nice and low, you're going to stick your bottom out. Just do a little dance here, moving your bottom from the left to the right, staying as low as you can. Just bringing your, again, celebrating that space in your hips, but also with nice activation of those muscles surrounding the hips. Moving from the left to the right. Take a breath in. And then breathe out. Walk your hands to your right foot. Ground your left foot facing me, full block, and windmill to warrior two this side. So, are you here? My metaphorical foot is here, and the virtual adjustment is here. I'm pulling you back. The weight is in this left side. I'm centering as I come down. I'm opening up my shoulders. To open up this back hip even more, activate this left buttock, and notice as you do that, you'll feel more space in the front of that hip. Open up into that warrior two. Open up the palm on your right hand and inhale. Nice revolve warrior. Exhale. Floating into that twist. Straighten through the left leg. Breathe in, float back to warrior two. Sit through center. Open up the front palm. Revolve warrior. Feel that space. Keep the front knee in line with the front ankle. And exhale. And down. And open. One more time. Inhale, floating back, fluid backstroke. Warrior two. Check in with your warrior two. Open your shoulders, activate the left glute. Front knee in line with the front ankle. Bring your torso to your shoulders, hips are in line with the floor. One more time, revolve as you breathe in. Open, breathe out, dance to the floor. Open through that spine and breathe in. Breathe out, coming back slowly into the center again. That nice space in your hips. Now the feet are going to face out, and then you're going to stand into that position if you can. Hands to heart center. One hand on your heart, one on top. A mudra of self-trust and confidence, this one. Take your bum out and just feel that space in your hips. And you can stay there, or you can bring your hands up into that really wide seated pose. Strength in the hips. Exhale, bring your hands down. Walk your hands back to your left foot. Your left hand comes to your right. Remember, do this on your back if you've got a knee issue. Straighten through the right leg. And this time we're going to come all the way down into a pigeon. And we're just going to hold that pigeon pose just for 3 really good breaths. You can straighten out your hands. The right side of your hip comes towards your left heel. And you just hold in that position. One more breath in. One more breath out. Long, slow breath out. You sink into that pose. If you want this to be more challenging, you can straighten through that back leg, the right leg, and bring the right hip closer to the left. Inhale, come up to your hands. Sit in this side, this pigeon. And this time we're going to exhale, come down, and this time we're going to side bend. So both of your hands are going to come over to your left hand side towards that leg. Just feel that openness through that side body, and that rotated pigeon. Take a breath in, a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to walk your hands to the right side. So you're now reaching through the right side, so it's like a pigeon side bend. And again, feeling that space, that release. As your hands come to the right and you reach through. Opening up through that hip, come back to center. Kick that left leg to the sky, give a little shake. And then bring the left foot in between the hands. Nice and low again to the center. Feet out. Take your bum out and just come up to this position. Move your hands unnecessarily up and down your thighs. Then open your hands and breathe in. And unnecessarily drive the hands down into your buttocks. And then breathing, come all the way up and sit a bit deeper into that deep hip stretch, hip strength as well as hip stretch. And then hands come to the floor. Walk your hands to your right foot. Your right foot comes to your left hand and you come into the pigeon pose. This side Again, remember, do this on your back if this is uncomfortable for your knee. You don't want, just a reminder, your right buttock to be on the floor. So if it is, you need to bring your heel closer to your groin. If it's okay, you slowly come into that pigeon pose. And pigeon pose is a nice place to practice breathing through the space. Practice responding and not reacting to the stress. In this case, the stress is physical. It's tension in that hip, in that piriformis. So can you ease back, don't force it. And then can you breathe into the space where you can stay non-reactive, calm. If you want more, you straighten through that left leg and bring the left side of the pelvis closer to the left heel. You were a woodpecker and now you are a pigeon. And now come all the way up. I don't know if you've noticed that pigeons move like this. So just do this, which is really actually looks ridiculous, but actually you're using a muscle called your sternocleidomastoid here, which is really important for neck health. So, you know, pigeons very rarely see a pigeon complaining about neck pain. And then as we come down, you're going to walk your hands away from the leg. So you're walking your hands, if my maths is correct, to your left. Your right leg is forward and you're walking your hands to your left and you're feeling that stretch through the side body, that deeper release in that hip. And then take a breath in here and breathe out, walk your hands to the right towards that leg and across the body on that side. Nice open hips. Exhale, come back to centre. Kick that right leg to the sky. Give it a shake. Bring the right foot in between your hands. Step into forward fold and come up to standing. Give everything a little shake. Shake your shoulders, shake your spine. Do this, and then do this. And then one last peak pose to celebrate the newfound mobility in your hips, and we're going to slow things right down. So stand on your left leg, bring your right leg up. Same as we did an hour ago when we were seated. We're just going to do some circles, but this time we're standing. Circles of that hip. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, circle the other way. Hip should be nice and loose now, so you can, few options here. Option one is to come to a chair pose, a pigeon chair we'll call this. Or let's call it a pigeon having a nice seat, because you never really see pigeons sitting down, do you? So, or do you? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But you're here in your seated pigeon pose. We've really opened up the hips, so you should be able to find a bit more depth. If that's too much, you'll just pigeon there. So just pigeon wherever you can pigeon. You might need to grab something. If your pigeon is very ready and mobile, we're going to put our foot in our mouth again, so the foot can come to the bicep and you can come low. If your pigeon's feeling particularly frivolous, he can fly into a pigeon, flying pigeon crow pose here. But of course, he might not be in the mood for that sort of thing. So just be conscious that your pigeon might not be wanting to fly today. Come all the way up. Shake that off. Legs nice and wide. Just come into some moving malasana. Stick your bum out as you move, as we recover. And bring your legs back to center, switch legs. So you're standing on your right leg now, mirroring me. Place your left foot, in your hand, and take a breath in. Ground through the standing right foot, and then circle the left foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in, open the spine. Breathe out. Place that left foot. Oh, hello. Windy in here. And you are a standing pigeon, a seated pigeon now. So this is your Utkatasana pigeon pose, your seated pigeon pose. And remember, you've got options here. You might be able to come with your pigeon foot on your bicep. If that's too much, just stay wherever you are. Stay here, this is fine. If you want to challenge your pigeon with this new hip space you've got, come there. You might even come into your flying pigeon. If you flew on your pigeon the other side, you can fly on your pigeon this side. Wherever you are, shake that off. Open your legs, sit deep, stick your bum out. So, you're in your first Malasana pose, surprisingly, but you're lengthening the spine. And again, you might not be able to come this deep, but that's okay. Just come here, wherever you can get to, you'll create some space in that hip. Then you're going to bring your hands behind you, bring your bottom to the floor, and just peel down to your back. Right foot comes to the left knee. So you're in the pigeon pose again, but this time without the load of your body. And we're going to come to a spinal twist from here. So bring your hands out into a T and let your right foot come towards the floor, coming into that spinal twist with that release of that glute. So you can make sure your right shoulder stays on the floor. You can walk your left knee a bit higher. Feel that nice release again in your hip, but also in your spine as it twists. Focus back on your breath now. Slowing down again your body's reaction to your mind by using your breath. Come into the recovery state now. This is where we want to benefit and recover from what we've just been doing physically, but also mentally, training the body to switch back to that state where we can recover and we can become better at switching off, better at managing our thoughts and emotions. Slowly come back to center. Little dance to the other side. Little dance to the other side again. Grab the back of your thigh. Feel that nice release this time in the left hip, left glute. Bring your hands to a T and let your left foot come all the way to the floor. So on this one, you can walk the right knee higher to get more of a spinal twist. Just make sure this shoulder, your left shoulder, is on the floor. And you're feeling that deep release. See if you can breathe in for 3 seconds. Filling up the belly, and see if you can breathe out for 10 seconds, nice and slow and long through the nose. And coming back to center. Just grab that left foot, and then see if you can bring the left knee towards the left shoulder. And just kick your left foot into your right hand. Kick your left foot into your right hand. Just again, one last stretch as you bring this knee towards the shoulder, opposite shoulder, and then switch. So you're hugging the right knee to your left shoulder this time. Grab the foot, grab your right foot with your left hand, and then just kick into that hand. So pressure comes here, you're kicking this foot into the hand as you draw the knee towards the shoulder and feel one last deep stretch for that piriformis, that glute. And then release, bend your knees, bring your lower back to the floor and peel up into a nice bridge. Opening up your glutes. Bring your hands underneath your body if you can and push your hips high. And just stay here for 3 nice deep breaths. Nice, easy, simple bridge, a nice counter. Pull those hips. One more breath in here. As you breathe out, we're going to float down with control, 1 vertebrae at a time. And hug both knees into the chest. Move your ankles, move your toes. Same breath we started with. 3 seconds in. Through the nose, 10 seconds out. Through the mouth as if you're fogging up that mirror or window again. 3 seconds in. 10 seconds out. Seconds in, and this time on the 10 seconds out, straighten your legs and come into Shavasana. So to finish in Shavasana, stay lying on your backs and just completely surrender. Now let your body sink to nothingness. That resting completely from, as we started with the meditation, where we were trying to go beyond your thoughts. See if you can just rest in this moment, just enjoy a moment where you're not thinking of what's coming or what's been, but you're just here, you're just connecting. Enjoy that, focus on that breathing. And see if you can come into that space where you know you can't always change the world, but you can always change your response to what's happening, your response to your mind. Change your mind in each moment that arises. And just stay in Shavasana for as long as you feel comfortable. And have a good Friday, have a lovely weekend. I will see you on Monday. If you can share this, more people can get involved, that'd be much appreciated. Have a lovely weekend, and any questions, let me know. Namaste.